In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how easy it is to defend in FC25. I mean, the gameplay was literally created to be defensive. If there's any struggle I've come across in this game, it's probably in attacking, not defending. And I want you to be able to kill the struggle of defending in this game. So for this video, I'm going to be playing against a friend. He's very good. He's an elite player. He's so good. And I'm going to be analyzing the gameplay and showing you the defensive mistakes I might have made during the game and how I defended properly against him. Okay, before I go into the video, the first thing I'm going to talk about is tactics and formation. Very important. Okay, so this is the defense that I use. I know it's not an affordable defense, but you don't exactly need this type of players to defend properly. So the key stats for your center backs should be sprint speed and defensive awareness, and the key stats for your fullbacks should be jockeying and jumping. Personally, I believe that these stats should always be of decent standing if you at least want to have a chance in the higher divisions. I also believe that the higher you get in the game, or the more competitive you get in the game, you have to have multiple tactics and formations. Okay, so this is the formation that I use to get max chemistry. I usually use 5-4-1 when I'm defending a lead late in the game, and I usually also use 3-4-1-2 when chasing a goal late in the game, and I start with 4-1-4-1. All my defenders on stay back, Gudiaro on holding, Roberto as box to box, and I defend in a 5-2-3 while attacking in a 4-2-4. And I usually switch to 4-3-3 defend when I'm already leading the game, maybe 1-0 or 2-0 around the 30 something minutes. Okay, the next thing I'm going to talk about is controller settings, specifically defensive controller settings. This one is pretty straightforward for me. Clearance is set to directional, defending is set to tactical. I've always used tactical. Advanced defending just makes it more manual than it already is, and it should only be used if you've already mastered defending or you're like a pro or something. And auto switching should always be on none, because your L1 and right stick should be the only controls doing it for you. Reaction time modifier has to be off, because when it's on, the game basically switches for you without you even realizing, and the rest I basically leave the same. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is keeping your defensive line straight. This clip, for example, I'm with the ball, I take a shot with Rafinha, he blocks it, win the ball back, then I lose the ball again. Now he's coming at me, but notice how I don't switch my cursor to my defensive line. I leave the cursor on my defensive midfielder, which is Van de Beek or Gudiaro. So what you want to do is try to control your defensive midfielders before switching to your defensive line, to anybody on your defensive line. They should be your last resort. So I continue with this, I continue with Van de Beek, and now I start to switch to my center backs while second I'm pressing, and AI is able to win the ball for me. I think I lose the ball again, but I don't come at him with Saliba. I just maintain that line continuously, and I would be able to win the ball in the long run. Okay, in the next clip you can see I'm with the ball, I'm attacking. Unfortunately I lose the ball in the final third, and he comes at me again, but like I said, I'm not switching to my defensive line. My cursor is on Gudiaro, he's my DM, and when he takes a bad touch, then I jump in with my defenders. Okay, next clip talks about the same thing. I lose the ball with Doji, but one thing I want you to focus on here is that when I lose the ball with Doji, I don't immediately rush him with Doji, because I'm going to bring him out of position. What I do is I immediately run back with Doji to keep my defensive line straight. Every time I lose the ball, the first thought that goes in my head is my defensive line straight? If it's not straight, I'm putting that defender back in position, because sometimes they don't know how to get back in position manually. So I put him back in position and I switch to my midfielder, which is Roberto, and I'm able to win the ball without pulling my defenders out of position. Okay, the next important defending tip is cutting the passing lanes. This year there are no instructions to give your defensive midfielders to cut the passing lane, so of course you have to do it manually. And if you look at this clip here, he's with the ball in the final third, and you see how Van de Beek won the ball. I was able to drag Van de Beek into the line between the person holding the ball and the receiver. So you have to predict who's going to receive the ball, who's the best person to receive the ball, or rather, who's the most dangerous person that can receive the ball. Then you want to cut the passing lane between those two people. Okay, another clip is long ball to his winger. Llorente is unable to win the ball. Then notice that every time I switch to a midfielder, I pull that midfielder to the receiver. I'm not rushing him directly to get the ball immediately. It's a game of patience. You know, you want to just track the runner. You want to mark the most dangerous receiver. So I'm pulling Roberto right now, and I'm just trying to mark whoever is dangerous. I mark the striker, I'm able to win the ball, then I start my counter attack. Easy. Yeah, another way you want to cut passing lanes is also cutting the passing lane to the final through ball. In this situation, he's gonna give the through ball to his striker. His striker is the most dangerous person, so I cut the passing lane with Van de Ven. I track the runner with Van de Ven to intercept that pass. Okay, the next tip I'm gonna give you, I know it's hard, but do not lose the ball in your own half. I'm guilty of that error, and I don't want you to be guilty as well. Try your best not to lose the ball in your own half. If you're gonna lose the ball in the final third. Don't play too fancy in your defensive third. Try to lose the ball, try to take the ball to the final third before you think of doing things that are risky. Okay, as you're gonna see in this situation, I take a throw-in and I do something really dumb. Why am I crossing in the defensive third? And of course he wins the ball, and when you lose the ball against players like this, you're gonna get punished. I didn't even have time to think of a defensive situation and I already conceded. Another popular instance is losing the ball in your defensive third after a corner kick, and I don't clear the ball, he double teams on me and he wins the ball, of course, and this led to a very dangerous situation. He could have easily scored. So in general, just try your best to at least boot the ball up the pitch if you're not sure you can come out of that press. Now, I promise you, this is the most important tip that I'm going to give you. This tip changed my life defensive wise. I used to be so bad at defending, but this particular tip really helped me. You don't defend the player necessarily. You don't defend the ball necessarily. What you want to defend is the space. Defend the space. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So, you see in this situation, I pass to Guerrero, long ball, he wins the ball, and now it's counter attack. Notice in this situation, when he takes the ball immediately to his striker, I'm not rushing Kolo Muani, I'm not pushing my center back towards his striker immediately. I'm defending the space in front of the striker, I'm defending the space to the left or to the right of the striker, you know. Because what you want to do is, you want to defend wherever you think the player can turn to. You want to defend wherever you think the player can move to, like Saliba. I'm defending the left, the right, the left, the right. Because I don't exactly know where he's going, but I'm holding L2 and R2, and I'm defending the space in front and around the striker. So he practically, if he runs forward or he runs to the left or he runs to the right, he's going to run into me. Another situation, of course, counter attack. He comes at me with his fullback, he downs Llorente. I can't even catch up with him right now, but I'm not going to rush him with my center back. I'm just going to hold my center back and second man press. In that way, I'm defending the space he could pass into, and I'm defending the space in front of him with my second man. And finally, tactical changes. When you're leading a game, your opponent is going to want to amp the pressure. So you want to also be able to kill the pressure by switching to another tactic. For those of you who don't know it, you have to click the D-pad on your controller and it shows you your list of already saved tactics. For example, in this situation, I saved the 5-4-1, so I switched to the 5-4-1, and you can see the line he has to break down before he scores me a last minute goal. Okay, so that's everything you need to know to improve your defense drastically in FC25. And if you got this far, thank you for watching. If you like this type of tutorials, you like, comment the one you want to see next, and subscribe to the channel. God bless. Thank you for watching.